All right, I think we're good. I think we made it. We all right? How we doing? Hey friends, welcome. How we doing? Why did I sound like that? I don't know. Welcome to the show. The live stream of episode 142 of the Melting Pat. Here we go. Hope you're doing all right. I never know if this thing's actually on. I don't know. I don't listen. I can't hear it in my ear space, so I hope it's working. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. Like a little message comes up when I start live streaming that hey, it'll be live on YouTube and you can record for up to 8 hours. And I thought about it, like when in my life would I ever be on here to do this for 8 hours? I don't know. How many people would actually sit down, or not even sit down and listen to the whole thing, but like come back and forth to hear me for 8 hours? Or like who would listen to all that? I wouldn't edit it. Certainly. I would just leave it go. Who cares? I don't know. That's a weird thing that I'm distracting you with when I have plenty of other things to talk about. We have, oh my goodness, so much has happened in the world, in my universe also. So that's kind of fun. We got some sports things to talk about. I got some questions for you right there in the description, by the way. If you want a little jump on them, you want to think about them before I get there, you certainly can. It's up there for you. Yeah, I did that for you and really for me. So I would know what I was supposed to talk about and what I'm going to get to when I go back to edit the show later. So there you go. Awesome. All right. So we had a long weekend. That was fun. Well, I did. If you didn't, I'm sorry to rub it in. I was in your shoes. I, for many years, didn't have long weekends, and I just had to sit there and, I don't know, grin and fucking bear it, man. And that sucked. Oh, by the way, live stream not safe for work, in case you don't know. So stop working. Or don't play me anywhere in public where there are kids around. If you don't, yeah, they'll learn it sometime. Might as well learn it from old Pat, right? Right. So long weekend, Memorial Day weekend. I went up to hang out with my mom and brother Bill, and well, I can't say her name; she'll get upset. It's weird. Some people don't like hearing their name on the airwaves and stuff, so I don't do it. And there you go. So we went up there, up to a local mall, local to my mom. Well, kind of local to me. Also, they had a touch a truck event for the kiddies, and it was the hottest day of that week, I think, of course, because we were all outside in the goddamn sun. So we went up there, and it worked out for a little bit. Some Disney princesses. My niece was the reason we did the touch a truck, by the way. It was it worked out for a little bit. There were Disney princesses. She met them. She was talking to, who was she talking to? Rapunzel. And then she's talking there saying whatever it is that she was saying. I don't remember. And then all of a sudden she's leading around Rapunzel, takes Rapunzel by the hand and is leading her around to go talk to Cinderella, I think, because Elsa was busy with somebody else. And so she was leading Rapunzel around to go meet another princess, and Bill's just looking like, my daughter's a fucking boss. Like, what the hell? And then we made our way over to the trucks, and we're in line for the fire truck. And again, it's very hot, and the line is long. And, old niece there was getting a little upset. And, I think a combination of, hey, these aren't Disney princesses. Hey, it's goddamn hot. And, hey, I'm just standing here doing nothing. This sucks. So, obviously a little bummed out. So we get up there and Bill convinces her to, all right, we're just going to do this real quick and then we're going to go. He's very calm. I don't know if I could be that calm in that situation. So there you go. Up top, some dad points for you. So they're just, all right, we'll do it. And I was in charge of taking pictures, and they get up into the truck, and it lasted maybe, I don't know, 90 seconds. Not even. It probably lasted a little longer than that, but it was, I took 3 pictures, and then she started to freak out. So Bill was like, all right, that's it. That's enough of that. So we went in to the old mall there and had Stewart's for lunch, and that was awesome. Although I have to say, I ordered. So if you've never been to Stewart's, when you order their beverages, their floats, they have root beer float and orange cream float. They have a couple other ones, but those are the main ones, and they're called the Black Cow and the Orange Cow. And of course, on instinct, I've been going to Stewart's for a long time. I ordered what I thought would be universally accepted as a beverage choice. I said, hey, can I get an orange cow and a black cow? And the girl behind the counter, God bless her, looked at me like I had 6 heads. And yeah, Yeah, so that was kind of a weird thing. I did have to go. She was like, "What the hell are you talking about?" She didn't say that, but with her eyes, she said that to me. And I was like, "Oh, just give me an orange cream float and a root beer float." And I was kind of dejected at that point because, come on, lady, what are you doing? So we did that, and then on no, Bridget, it was not raunchy. It was not Touch a Truck was not raunchy, as weird as it might seem. There were a lot of trucks there, to be fair. There was a SWAT truck that we didn't get to go into, but it wasn't for me. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do about that, but nothing. Just tell you about it. I don't know. If you have a Touch a Truck in your area, go into the SWAT truck and let me know how it is. And then on Monday, I went to shop for a suit because I have 2 weddings that I'm attending at the end of the month. And the suit that I own will make me sweat my ass off because of the material. So I had to go find a different one. So I go in there and I went to K&G Fashion Superstore, which if you're familiar with Foreman Mills, you'll get this reference. If not, I don't know. My bad. It is the Foreman Mills of suits. It is a massive place and bargains, and the people there are just very interesting. Let me put it that way. So I was in there for a while, and I was texting my wife. I said, "Hey, can you come over?" She was walking. She was doing a pet sitting thing or something, and I said, "Hey, can you meet me over here?" She's like, "Yeah, sure." So she helped me pick out a suit, and it took a long time. It was a pain in the ass, but I found one. It's blue. It looks pretty good. I got to pick it up on Thursday, and then I might share a photo or not. I don't know. Maybe I won't. Maybe you won't see it till the wedding photos. Screw you, pal. Yeah, eat that. So I get in there, and it was weird because I had to go get it adjusted. That's not the weird part. So I'm standing there getting it adjusted, and she's like, "How long or when do you need it?" And I was like, "Well, the weddings are in a month, and so I don't know, maybe like 2 weeks or so." And she's like, "How's June 7th?" She was clearly getting impatient because I could not make a decision, and there were other people waiting, and I was kind of being whatever I was being. And she's like, "All right, how's June 7th?" I said, "Yeah, sure, I'll come pick it up." So I'm going to stop there after work, and it'd be weird. It'd be awesome. It might be weird, too. I don't know. But there was a kid who was, I guess, going to a prom, looked like a high school kid, and he was getting I don't know if he's getting a full suit or a separate or whatever, but he wanted them hemmed weirdly, like hem above the ankle and then not wear loafers with no socks. Like, what the fuck? I don't know what these people are doing. I don't know if this is a thing. The suit lady, or not the what do they call them? Seamstress? Is that the right word? Yeah, sounds right to me. She didn't say it, but the woman who was helping people, the employee who was helping people pick out stuff, and she helped me. And thank you very much, lady. She was saying a lot of the high school kids are doing that now. They're getting the pants hemmed above the ankle and wearing loafers with no socks or some kind of shoes with no socks. And I'm like, that's gross, and it's probably going to look horrendous, but that's what this kid wanted. And the lady asked him, "Hey, all right, when do you need it?" And he's like, "Tomorrow." Now, I went there. It was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon by this time. And I assume that this dude was going to an event that had been scheduled for at least weeks in it. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt, weeks in advance. And I don't know what the deal was. Like, I am a procrastinator. Absolutely. Not going to shy away from that at all, especially when I was in high school. But I don't think I would have done that, like gone and bought a suit thing and like, "Hey, I need this altered in, 6 hours." Like, no, that's not. No, like all these people who are coming in need their stuff done, and you gotta, get to the back of the line, as it were. And I don't know what he expected. I don't know why he expected that to be okay. I don't know the resolution. I didn't stick around. I had to go get some food, and I wanted to get out of that store. So there you go. Nothing against the store. It worked out really well. I just didn't want to be there anymore. So I hate shopping. That's why. So yeah, it was very strange that this kid was like, "Yeah, tomorrow," and acted like that was going to be okay. So I don't know. I as a procrastinator, that's too much even for me. So there you go. That was weird, but that was my my long weekend, trucks and Stewarts, and I bought a suit and all that stuff. So there you go. That's what I did. Hope you had fun. Hope you found some time to do some things and some stuff. I don't know what people do. So this happened on Tuesday. Yeah, we're gonna roll right along. No transitions on this show. I don't give a shit. on Tuesday, I think it was, Roseanne tweeted a thing at a person. I don't know who Valerie Jarrett is, but that's who she tweeted it at, this thing here. And she said something about it was racist. Let me just put it that way. I don't need to repeat it. You've probably seen it because today's Friday. So it's very likely that you have seen it. She said something racist. And then a couple hours later was like, oh, sorry. Because everybody obviously freaked out. And like, what the hell, Roseanne? What are you doing? Why would you say this in public? I don't know. Very weird. Not strange. Not out of character, I think, for Roseanne. Maybe it was, I haven't really followed Roseanne's off TV persona for that long. But yeah, she was like, oh, sorry, I was on Ambien and I said something. I made a bad joke. And two things wrong with that. Number one, it was not a joke. It was just mean. Like, jokes are usually funny, even if they are kind of mean-spirited. But there was no joke here. This was just her kind of being mean. And Ambien came out and said, nope, racism is not a side effect of any of our products. So up top to Ambien. Oh, sorry, live people. I'll fix that for the podcast. But god damn, that was loud. My bad. It's a really good high five, though. You have to give me that. So yeah, she said a thing, and people obviously got upset. They canceled the second season of her show. Not only did they do that, but they pulled all the old episodes from Hulu and what's the other channel? CMT, whatever other channels were running her show in syndication. They are no longer running her show in syndication. So her bad idea, let's call it that, cost the rest of the cast and crew, I guess. I don't know how residuals work, but they cost them a lot of money. So now they get none of that. And so that's a bummer. The people who are really excited to work on season 2 and the people who, depended on that money for season 2 don't get that because of one person, which doesn't make a lot of sense. I get why they canceled the show. It makes sense why they canceled the show. I don't like that it costs a lot of people work, right? Because one person was being an asshole and decided to do a thing, and now that's it. The actors who play Darlene and DJ, respectively, said, hey, that's not cool, Roseanne. And she was like, what the hell? You guys threw me under the bus. I made you. And that's just a dick move on her part, isn't it? Right? Look, and I liked the show. I enjoyed the show a lot. Both versions of it. I know I mentioned a few weeks ago that her politics came into question. People were boycotting because of her politics, and I didn't, because I can separate those two things. But this was the line for me. If they didn't cancel the show, I would not have watched, because there's a difference between disagreeing politically and you just being a racist jerk, right? I would think so. I mean, I do think so. That's why I wouldn't have watched the show. And so everybody's on Twitter. There's a whole, there are a lot of sides to this. The president's weighing in. What about the bad things said about me on ABC? What the hell is going on here? And that's kind of sad, right? The narcissism is weird. Narcissism is a weird thing in general, right? It's just like, hey, what about this thing that happened? Hey, let's talk about me instead. And it's, I don't know, a really bad cry for attention. That's the whole point of narcissism. All of narcissism. Jesus Christ. Can't even say the word. We're going to move on from that because I can't say the word. Jeez. And it's just sad, right? The attention-seeking nonsense. And then everybody's like, whoa, what about the... And everybody's freaking out. And I don't know. I don't know the mental gymnastics that people do to defend a celebrity from saying who had said something dumb or offensive or both is just, it's astounding the way it happens, how quickly it happens, how hard they go on it. I don't know why they do it or why they waste their energy on that. Just, she said something dumb, and again, disagreeing is one thing, but being a racist jerk is another. So that's no good. But apparently I was reading, I'm trying to figure out what's next for the rest of the cast and crew, because there were talks, there have been talks, or there are going to be more talks about using the rest of the cast for a different project. There was talk about rebooting the show without Roseanne, or continuing the show rather without Roseanne, but that's tricky because she created the character and then would still get money from the show if it's the same kind of thing. I don't know. Apparently ABC is also on the hook for the cast and the crew anyway for a period of time. I'm not sure. I don't know how this is going to work. I will say it's a bummer because I enjoyed the show. And like I said, I enjoyed it because it talked about real stuff. And it wasn't like not everything had a nice resolution. Sometimes it was like, hey, we're poor and what are we going to do? And it didn't always get resolved. And I enjoyed that about the show because that's a real thing that happens in life. Like not everything gets wrapped up in 22 minutes. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. I enjoyed the show, and it's disappointing that that it's over because of something like this. All right, yeah. Is that all I had to say about Roseanne? I don't know. There were probably other things, but I don't want to read them. I wrote down a lot of stuff. I mentioned before I just write down things and then I just want to not read them, so I skip over them. We really should transition to entertainment stuff right out of this, but I don't want to because then I have to play the song and then the break happens and then I don't get to this. But this will be fast because none of you fucks decided to answer the question. This week I was, because the end of last week's show, this is a mess. God damn it, Roseanne. I gave some advice to college graduates because it had happened or it is happening. And I was like, hey, don't freak out. Have fun. Do whatever, right? And so I decided let's make that the inquiry for the week. Let's say, hey, if you could give advice to graduates, one piece of advice to a graduate, high school, college, elementary school, I don't know, other school things, what would it be? And none of you fuckers decided to weigh in. I guess you don't have advice. You're all just living perfect lives over there. I don't know why I'm so mad about this. I guess I was hoping for some good advice to shell out so I sound smart and I wouldn't have to give you credit because I could just say, oh, this came in on the website. So I don't know who it was. I could have done that. That would have been fun. No, I was going to try to continue on the positive vibe from last week, but I can't because you guys are jerks. God damn it. So I do have some things to say. Yeah, I always do. That's why I do this because I have a lot of words that come out of my face hole. I'll just run them down and then we'll do the entertainment stuff and then you can be done with me faster. All right. All right. If you are graduating from elementary school, first of all, congratulations. Obviously, don't freak out. You know, read some things over the summer. They give you a big reading list. You're like, oh, fucking nerds reading stuff. Like, just read a thing. All right. You know, you're not going to read a lot. Maybe you don't even read a lot of books now because you have fancy gadgets, but read things. All right. No, you don't have to read it. Well, I don't want to say you don't have to read the stuff they assigned you because you kind of do. Do they still do that, by the way? They did that for me. Read things before you get here because you're going to learn about them. And I don't know if they still do that, but if they do, read one of them. All right? Don't be a prick. Also, try to eat some funnel cake. All right? Enjoy yourself. That's the main message for all of these, really. If you're graduating high school, don't wait. Like if you're going to college, especially if you're going away to college, don't wait to pack till like 2 weeks before like I did. Don't do that. All right? Just do it steadily over the course of however long. Do a little bit each day or each week and go, okay, here's what I'm doing. If not, like shove them all into a bag or a box or whatever. Just go organize your stuff, right? Just be ready. Like, okay, I'm taking this and this and this. And then when you get there, you'll realize the stuff that you forgot or that you, oh, crap, I do need this. Then you come home at Labor Day and you bring it then. Right? That works out, doesn't it? I don't know. Save some money. Yeah, you're going to need it. Like I said, or no, maybe I didn't say this, but I'll say it again for the first time. Whatever. Save some money. If you have a summer job, don't spend all your money. Don't blow it all. Have fun, obviously. Enjoy yourself, obviously. But don't waste all your money. All right? You don't want to get there and be poor right off the bat. Right? You want to be able to work your way down to that. And then you have the full college experience of, oh my God, I have 6 cents on my bank account. What am I going to do? Right? Right. And when you go to college, I should probably save this part for like August, but I'm going to forget by then. Or maybe I'll just say it again. I don't know. Don't hang out with just your roommates when you get there. I know that's like a cliche thing to say, but it's true. Don't do that. They could turn out to be weirdos, and then you'll miss out on having, you know, some really good friends. So don't do that. Learn to share stuff. And the best part, I think, about going away or going to a new place in general is if you didn't like what you were doing when you were at home or wherever, you go to this new place, you can stop doing those things and almost be like a new person. That's what I did, and I think it worked out. I don't know. I still have some people I talk to, I guess. Maybe. Now, what the hell do I know? I'm just sitting here in my underwear about a week from my 30th birthday. So, well, a little more than a week, but it depends on when you listen. Really, you could listen, on like Wednesday. I don't know. Thanks anyway, whenever you do. And again, if you graduate from college, just enjoy yourself, right? Don't be all stressed out like I was, because then you're no fun. And nobody likes a guy who's no fun. Yeah, there you go. All right, Jesus. Well, that was a lot on graduates that we already did twice. Oh, main lesson is have fun. All right? Have a good time with whatever it is that you're doing, and best of luck to you. If you need any help, I'll do what I can. I don't know. I will try my best to encourage you or Grubhub you some ice cream. No, I don't think I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that for me, and then I'll tell you about it, and you can. I don't know. Where am I going with this? I have no idea. Where we're going with the show, though, I do know that because that's here written down on the thing, so I know what's going on. We got some movies to tell you about, some video games, and then we're going to take an awkward break on the live show and play a song on the podcast. So there you go. That's the thing and the stuff and what's happening, man. Whoa, man. An action horror sci-fi movie called Upgrade is out this week after his wife is killed during a brutal mugging. That also leaves him paralyzed. Goddamn. Gray Trace is approached by a billionaire inventor with an experimental cure that will upgrade his body. I see what they did there. The artificial intelligence implant called STEM gives him physical abilities beyond anything he's experienced, so he can claim vengeance against those who murdered his wife and left him for dead. There you go. Logan Marshall Green is the star here. He was in Spider-Man Homecoming. He was also in 24 and a bunch of other stuff. So there you go. That's out for you to check out. And an action comedy called Action Point. Action Point! Am I supposed to yell it? I don't know. Johnny Knoxville is the owner of an amusement park where the rides are designed with minimum safety for maximum fun. Of course they are. The opening of a fancy new park right down the way or across the way. I don't know if this is a Good Burger, Mondo Burger situation. I'm not sure. But it puts the future of his park in doubt. So they pull out all the stops to save the day. That one didn't feel as good with the yelling part. But Johnny Knoxville is running an amusement park that is almost going out of business, and he's got to save it for the things and stuff. I don't know. He's got to do other things, and it looks like fun. So that is out for you right now to go see in theaters. All right, if you don't want to go to the theater, you don't want to go to the theater, there we go. Jeez. You could stay home and play some video games. That's cool, man. Sounds like more fun to me. I don't like people. You know that already. Bunker Punks is a first-person shooter. It looks like if the Chex Quest guy was taking down the government. That the story is you're like stockpiling stuff against the government. And so you're like Dale Gribble, basically. You're a conspiracy theorist. And it is a first-person shooter with the very low-res graphics to match the very simple plot, I guess. So maybe that's a weird description. But it looks like if the Chex Quest guy was going around these different bunkers to collect supplies and take down the man. So there you go. That's one for you. There is, let's see, the Sega Mega Drive. Oh, this actually looks like a lot of fun. I know I don't usually do this with classic stuff, but I don't care. Sega Mega Drive's Classic is out there for you on PS4 and Xbox One. Jesus. No PC, that's a bummer. Sonic Golden Axe, Gain Ground, Altered Beast, Streets of Rage, and a whole bunch more. I think there are like 50 games here. If you were a Sega fan, this one is for you. All right, so do the thing. Maybe I'll come over. We can play. How's that sound? I'm inviting myself to your house as people roll by, blasting their crappy music. You fucking jerks. Anyway, Agony is out for PC, PS4. This actually works out well. PC, PS4, Xbox One. It is a first-person survival horror game set in hell. In hell. There's my Vince McMahon for you. You begin your journey as a tormented soul with no memory about your past. The special ability to control people on your path and possess demons gives you the measures to survive. The graphics for this look awesome. I would not play this with the lights off. I'd play this in the middle of the day with the windows open, the shades up, and the lights on, everything open, and people around. So maybe even without sound, so I don't get too freaked out. I'm a wimp. You know this about me. Oh, man. But it looks actually pretty cool. And this one looks like an NES game based on a movie that might actually be a good game, because not a lot of those were. And I'm sure you know the ones. I don't need to list them because I didn't. So it is called Milan Noir. I don't know. Milan, I don't know how to read. PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. Inspired by the Italian crime flicks of the 70s, a pixel-packed action game. Set not that, the way it sounded to say it. Set in the violent city of Milan, come meet Piero, a convict suddenly released from prison, looking for revenge over the man who framed him. Like I said, looks very cartoonish, and that is a good thing. In a good way, this looks like it could be a lot of fun. So that is out for you right now. All right? All right. And speaking of collections, Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection on PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. You get 12 Street Fighter games. I don't know all of them. I have not played a Street Fighter game since like 1997, so I can't help you. But if you're into Street Fighter, here are 12 of them in a collection for the stuff. All right? All right. That's all the stuff that I have. That's all the things, man. That was fun. I was ready to take a break real quick and get a beverage, but then I remembered, hey, pal, we're live. I've been doing this for a couple weeks. I really should know this. And the fact that there's a big thing that says you're live right here on the screen. So there you go. So you get an awkward pause, the live people. And for the podcast folks, you get a tune from a new band called Miller and the Hunks. You can find more from them at millerandthehunks.bandcamp.com. They were fun. When I said, hey, can I play your stuff? They were excited about it. Most people are. But they were pumped up, and I'm pumped up to play the song. This is from, we didn't write down the album thing. I'll put it in the show notes. Don't you worry. They're going to be mad. You can't even get the thing right. Anyway, the song is called Waste Your Time. I'm not going to do any more of that. I'm going to play the song, and you're going to have fun or not. I think you will. Here it is. So there you go. We did it. Miller and the Hunks, Waste Your Time. See, that was less awkward. No, that was more awkward, I think. Really was. But thank you. Again, millerandthehunks.bandcamp.com for more from them. And I think they have new music coming in the fall. Is that one of them? I feel like everyone tells me that, and I just write it down as a default thing. So there you go. If they don't, then I'm just the messenger. All right? But go check them out and go enjoy their stuff. All right? All right. So if you're tuned in live, and you hate sports, I'm sorry to hear that. If you're not tuned in live and you hate sports, you can skip ahead. You don't have to worry about it. You can be like, screw you, I'm done with the show, because that's basically the rest of the show is me talking about sports. We'll do the baseball stuff first. We have a little NHL to do, and there's a scandal, I guess you could call it that, with the Sixers that we will talk about as well. All right? That's the sports stuff we're doing right now. Here's your teaser. Yeah. All right. I watched the Phillies yesterday. They beat the Dodgers somehow. They scored a phantom run. Michael Franco coming around second, lumbering around second base. God, he's pretty slow. And he did not touch home plate. Not even close. Like, maybe he just grazed the corner. He was at least a foot away from home plate, and he just kept running the dugout. The catcher dropped the ball, and nobody challenged. They were all like, all right, that sounds good. And play resumed. And there's a run for the Phillies. They get tacked on another one, and they beat the Dodgers 2-1 on Thursday. And then the Dodgers, after the play, after it was too late to challenge, went back and looked at it, and we're like, oh, shit. We really messed this one up. We blew this game because we didn't look at this call. I don't know how they didn't challenge it. I don't know how the replay guy upstairs didn't say, hey, he didn't touch the plate at all. And I was trying to figure out how, because everybody was saying that, all the people I've been reading talking about this, were saying that if the Dodgers had challenged and won, which I think they would have, then Franco would not have been sent back to third base, as I thought he would have been. He wasn't on third, I guess. So that would be kind of weird to do. They said he would have been out. And I don't know why that is. I don't know what the ruling is on that. Maybe because he was in the dugout, he's out of play, and he would have been out automatically. I don't know. He wasn't ever tagged. Also, he was never tagged. So that's part of it. the catcher, Yasmani Grandal, was kind of blocking the plate also, so the Phillies could have countered with that, and he wasn't given a free path to the base, so that could have been a thing. Luckily for the Phillies, didn't have to happen that way, and they won. So that works out. Aaron Nola just continues to dominate. Sir Anthony Dominguez, he's awesome. He's the real deal. I'm going to go on the record and saying it. It's June 1st. Sir Anthony Dominguez, he's only been up for like a month or so. He's the real deal. This kid is legit, and he's really fun to watch. Jake Arrieta also worth every penny. So that's a lot of fun to watch him do things. I saw him in person earlier this year, and he struck out 10, and it was really fun because he was awesome. They got to start hitting. Rhys Hoskins is out for a little bit. They called up Dylan Cousins, who I've seen play a little bit in the minors, and he should be really good. You'll get more time with Nick Williams and Aaron Altair, who needs to get out of his hitting funk. Carlos Santana's hitting well. Odubel's hitting well. Cesar Hernandez is hitting well. So they need to kind of put it all together and start scoring some runs. They need every run they can get. They stole one from the Dodgers. Like if this was wrestling, they would have had the feet on the ropes and the ref didn't see, and they would have won the match. They would have stolen the match from whoever they were facing, the Dodgers in this case. So yeah, they got to start hitting. This part of the schedule still really tough. So yeah, score more runs than the other guy. I don't know. There's your John Madden quote of the week for you. That's what the Phillies need to do. I'm not going to do an impression. That would be offensive because it's my John Madden impression is really bad. So there you go. Yeah, that's what I had for the Phillies. I had a couple of questions that I wanted to put out there for you because I didn't want to do numbers because I've done that in the past and people were like, hey, nerd, shut up. Nobody cares. So I decided let's take some questions from around the league and things other people are asking. I'm going to put that out there and kind of riff on them myself a little bit. So that's the plan here, folks. That's, yeah, we actually have a plan despite what little research I do for this show. I do what I can. You know, I try. Are we going to get to a point? No, that's not the first one, you moron. Oh, Jesus. Flip it. There we go. Does a team need a closer at this point? Because there are a lot of teams who don't really have, well, let me not say a lot. There are some teams that do not have traditional bullpen roles. They, you know, you get your long guys, you get your middle innings guys, you get your setup guy, and your guy for the ninth inning, who's a set man. And some teams are shying away from that because they play the matchups. They play the go with the analytics, and they say, all right, we want to use our best pitcher in the biggest spot in the game, even though that might be in the seventh inning, not the ninth inning. We want to do it so we don't have to worry about the best or the biggest part of the game actually happening in the ninth inning, right? So do we need that? Are we at a point where we don't need to have an official closer? Because really, I feel like the closer is around because people still worry about saves. I don't know why. Saves are useless, all right? I mean, it's nice. You know, you get a guy with a career 300 saves, and you're like, oh, cool, man, that's great. But what else you got, right? You know, do you allow a lot of base runners? Do you allow the runners you inherit to score? Do you give up a lot of hits? Do you walk a lot of guys? Do you strike out a lot of guys? Stuff like that that we kind of gloss. Some people gloss over because I don't know. They worry about the saves thing, and I don't know. Josh says the Indians need a fucking closer. All right. Well, the Indians bullpen has been. Sorry, Josh. They've been trash. The AL Central, as Josh and I talked about last week briefly, is trash. It's awful. The Indians bullpen is not great. So maybe they need a set guy in the ninth inning to lock things down. I don't know. Maybe we're not at the point yet. Maybe I'm just spitballing here. What the hell do I know? I'm Rob Manfred here. Just let's throw out these ideas and see what sticks. And that's not really a bad thing, by the way. Just not for my sake, for his. Or maybe it is for everybody. I don't know. No need to apologize. They're awful. They are. They really are. You're right. And thank you for agreeing with me. Speaking of relievers, are we going to get to a point when starting pitchers are obsolete for a team or two in the league and they just go out and spend less money overall? Because when you get a big starting pitcher, you spend a lot of money because he's worth it. You get a guy like a Clayton Kershaw, like a Justin Verlander, like a Dallas Keuchel, like a, name your, I don't know why those are the only three starting pitchers I named, but You get the idea. When you get an ace, you spend a lot of money, right? But if you don't have a starting pitcher, because some of them are going 4 innings, 5 innings, and how much are you paying per start then? If you lock them up for $200 million, you expect them to go 7, 8, 9 innings. But if teams aren't doing that anymore, then why are you paying this guy so much money to not have all those innings on him? So are we going to reach a point when baseball teams just get a bunch of relief pitchers and use them 1 and 2 innings at a time throughout the game, right? And this goes along with the first thing of not having to set bullpen roles. Bullpen roles. There we go. We had it. It kind of goes along with that, where you don't really have the role. You're just like, all right, who's the best guy in this situation? Even if it's the 3rd inning, who's our guy? All right. And then we go on and we go from there. Right. So we're going to get to that point. And I have to give credit where it's due. This idea came from Carl Ravitch on the Baseball Tonight podcast about a week ago. And I thought, hey, this might be fun. And I don't know if it's fun for you, but I enjoyed thinking about it, and I'm enjoying rambling about it for you. So I think there will be a team in the next 5 years to experiment with this. The Rays have done it already this year, where they at least started a game with the relief pitcher. Sergio Romo has started, I think, 2 or 3 games already. And he pitches like an inning or 2, and then they bring in somebody else. But the other thing is, if you do that, like if you start with a reliever and then you go to a starter, you're throwing off his routine. And baseball players are very entrenched in their routines. And so if you do it with a bunch of relievers, they're used to getting warmed up within an inning, like inning or a half inning or whatever. They're used to getting warmed up faster than a starter, right? Their routine is quicker, and because it has to be. They could get a call and say, hey, get warmed up, and in 5 minutes time they could be in the ball game, right? And so I don't know, I feel like there will be a team to do this that just gets a bunch of relievers and uses them 2 or 3 innings at a time. And then you get into the thing of like, oh, well, how many pitchers are they going to use in a game, and think of all that time with the pitching changes. But in this scenario, in an ideal scenario, they will switch out every inning or every 2 innings, like not in the middle of the inning, right? They'll do it after you understand what I mean, what I'm trying to say that I can't get out. So it wouldn't be mid-game, mid-inning changes. They would come out with the next inning, right? In an ideal world, which doesn't happen very often, but I don't know. I thought it was fun. I thought it would be a neat idea, and I do think there will be a team that will experiment with this. I don't know which one, but I do think it will happen at some point. Plus, you save money, right? You don't pay one guy $200 million. You might pay 7 guys a total of like $80 million or whatever. And then you get, you save money for a big bat, or save money for a better reliever or whatever. And it could work out, or it could be a disaster. It could be an absolute disaster, and it could not work out at all. So there you go. Finally, I want to get to this because it's a thing that's been brought up for, forever, I think, in Major League Baseball, since the K zone was adopted in 93, I think it was. Realistically, how far away are we from having an electronic strike zone? I mean, really, right? At this point, and I know a lot of people, I know what they're going to say. They're going to say, hey, man, what about the human element of the game? What's going on, man? Why are we doing this? We're doing this because a lot of times humans get it wrong, and the guys get upset, and they have to stop the game to argue. And I'm not saying I don't like the arguments. I do. Believe you me, I enjoy them a lot. But I'm also a big proponent of, and I've talked about this with Replay before on the show, get the call right. Like, get it right. Don't worry about how you get there. Just get it right. You speed up the game because you don't have to worry about guys arguing balls and strikes. Like, what the hell, man? That wasn't a strike. It's like, all right, did it get in this box? Yes, it's a strike. If not, it's a ball. It seems really simple. I know there's a lot that has to go into it because, everybody's strike zone is a little different. Sometimes when a guy is missing with close pitches outside and the umpire's like, what the hell, throw a goddamn strike, he'll stretch that strike zone a little bit. He'll start calling those strikes to move the game along. And I understand where that comes in. I get the argument, but at the same time, there are a lot of bad umpires that are, they're just bad. I don't know what to say. I'm not going to call anybody out. I don't do that, that. But a lot of times you see a guy with an inconsistent strike zone, and you're like, what the hell, man? Figure it out. You know where the strike zone is. You know what the box is with the strike things. So why not let the robots do it, right? And I know, Pat, you're going down a slippery slope, but the robots taking over. Listen, it's going to happen eventually. We might as well just start it now, right? Right. I don't know. Maybe not, but it was something I've been thinking about. I've been hearing a lot of people talk about it lately. So what the hell? Bring it in. Bring it. Do it. Just fucking do it. All right? Come on. Stop wasting time. All right? And speaking of wasting time, I've wasted a lot of your time. I'm not done yet. I'm just saying. My bad. The NHL, the Stanley Cup Final is tied 1-1. The Vegas Golden Knights won in a shootout in Game 1, which is really fun. And then the Capitals held on to win Game 2. So now it's tied up. Game 3 in Washington Saturday. So could be today for you. Tomorrow for the live people. For the not live people. For the dead ones. For the zombies out there. It could be some, or it might have happened. I don't know. Like I said, you could listen on like a Wednesday. I have no idea. But it's been exciting, just as I thought it would be. And there you go. That's the thing. Game 3. Do it up. I don't know what time it is on Saturday. Probably. I'm not even going to guess. Not even going to guess. But again, Vegas Golden Knights, Washington Capitals. God damn, what a weird Stanley Cup final. Never thought I'd say that in a row. I don't know, because Vegas just became a team this year. So there you go. That's that. All right. The last sports thing we got to do is a weird one. This is such a weird story involving the Sixers president of basketball operations. His name is Brian Colangelo. Did I say that right? Probably. Or maybe not. I have no idea. This is being called Watergate, and I think that's really funny. See, if you live outside of Philadelphia, it's not funny to you. But I'll clue you in, because instead of saying water or water, we say water. And, Watergate was obviously a big deal. So Watergate is this scandal where it was reported, by the way, on The Ringer. And if you have some time, I suggest, I'll put the link in the show notes. Go to theringer.com and look up this story. The Curious Case of Brian Colangelo's something or other, written by Ben Dietrich. And they also did a little podcast about it. So if you want to check that, it's right there on the thing. Again, I'll put it in the, I should have put it in the description. Damn it. I'll put it in the show notes. So it was just really interesting piece about how this all came together. So the 76ers president, Brian Colangelo, was caught using burner Twitter accounts to trash players, former executives. I think his predecessor was a target from this. He praised himself somehow. There were 5 of them, 5 accounts. He admitted to owning one. So Dietrich asked the Sixers, like, hey, well, he got a tip on like Twitter or Instagram or whatever, and said, hey, what's going on? So he asked them about 2 accounts, and he's like, hey, what's up with these 2 accounts? And meanwhile, he's watching the other 3. He knows about them, but he didn't ask the Sixers. So he's watching them. The guys came back, and he said, all right, I own this one. And like hours after that, the 3 accounts that were not asked about went private. So that seems fishy to me, friends. I'm just saying, I'm not accusing anybody of anything, even though I probably already did. But that seems weird to me, that these accounts that this guy didn't ask about all of a sudden went private because he asked you about these other accounts that are like fake Twitters or whatever, right? They're not real people. They're set up in a weird, I don't know, right? So Colangelo admitted to using one of them to monitor the league, which is a reasonable thing for a basketball executive to do. He's got to see what the trade talk is, what the free agency is going on, how people are, I don't know, how people are talking about him. I guess that's a thing to do, right? So he has one of them, but there are 5. So we know what the hell is going on here. And I don't really know a lot about basketball, as you know, as I do not talk about it on the show because I don't follow it. But I wanted to look into the story, and I almost didn't talk about this. But then I asked a few people about it, and I got some responses that will require a lot of me reading out loud. So I'm very sorry. Joel said he potentially ruined his career. Colangelo, that is, because of his insecurities. Sad. Very sad. Sounds familiar. Also, thanks, buddy. Mike Rowan, who is at Mike Rowan 56. So should I put that out there? Whatever. It's public or not. You can follow him or don't. I might cut that out of the podcast. He said it definitely doesn't look good for him. If it's in his inner circle, he has to be fired, you would think. If he stays, players won't feel like they can trust him, and free agents don't want to play for a GM they can't trust. It is such a weird story. And then he threw in the hashtag Watergate, which again, it's a great name for this. That's really the best thing they could do. The best thing to come out of this, I think. I think if they can fully clear him and his family, the PR is so bad, I feel like he has to go. I'm a bit biased, though, because I was never a big BC guy, but I don't know if they can do that. If he does stay, it makes me really think of how it can impact the dynamic between the front office and the players, and if free agents are going to want to play for a team where the GM and or his wife trash them. Only in Philly, it's really going to make the 30 for 30 an Oscar winner, though. And the thing about his wife, this came out, I think, on Thursday. The story broke on, I believe, Tuesday. And so the wife thing came out on Thursday that either she was behind it or she was going to take the heat for him to get the bad press off him and onto her. And it's weird because the accounts were following like Sixers players and Colangelo's former agent and like his son's college basketball teammates or whatever. It was very strange. I don't know how to explain it other than it's just a really weird, like, why do you have to do this? I don't know. It's just very strange. The whole thing, how it shook out and how it's continuing to shake out because they were talking about bad trades and somebody failed a physical and that's not necessarily a public thing. And they were just kind of doing all this stuff. Kevin Love on Twitter says, first I thought he was done, but dropping Colangelo's name in a press release about Brown's extension, Brett Brown, the coach, is not great news, nor is Josh Harris being a spineless pushover. I don't know who Josh Harris is, but there you go. Get a spine, Paul Ryan. Colangelo being the son of one of the NBA's good old boys and Silver, the commissioner Adam Silver, forcing him on Philly in the first place. None of this looks good either way. I don't know who his dad is. As you'll hear in a second, Phil tells me his dad's name is Jerry. I don't know what his dad did. Again, I don't know basketball, but thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Mike. Phil says, I fucking love it. All of it. I love every second of it. It's the story that keeps on giving, especially with the other accounts having his wife's phone number. Oh, man, not a fan of Jerry's kid, but this all falls on Adam Silver. Because of the way the league is built now, you have to tear down and rebuild, take shots on some young guys, because teams apparently, when they sign guys, can go over their salary caps, which fucks over free agency. So you kind of have to do it this way. And so you need some cap space, some good rookies. You got to lock in those cheap deals, and you got to suck for a while. You have to, get those high draft picks because you're not going to get good draft picks in the middle of the draft. It's just not going to happen. So you don't want to get stuck in mid-round hell, which is, as he explained, where you make the playoffs every year is like the 8th seed, which is the bottom seed, and you get knocked out in the first round. So you're stuck there with like the 15th pick in the draft or whatever, and you get nobody good, and you're stuck there for a while. It just keeps going. You never get any better. And he says it falls on the commissioner. So there you go. Because of the way the league is run these days, and apparently he forced Colangelo on the Sixers, and I don't know what to make of the story. I would think you have to fire the guy, right? Because either way, like if it's not him, if it's his wife, and he doesn't know about it, that's weird, right? If you can't even, I know it's going to be a weird thing, but if you can't even handle what's going on in your family, how are you going to run a team, right? It's that kind of mentality that people are going to have, fans and other executives and players who might want to play here, who now maybe don't want to play here. I don't know what the situation is with all that stuff, but I think the first step probably should be, as a guy who does no research on this, should probably be to fire the guy and clear all this up. I don't know. I don't actually really know what's going on, but yeah, that's the story, man. Watergate, burn our Twitter accounts because I don't know. That's where we are. That's what we're doing. I have no idea. The Twitter is weird. The world is weird, friends. We elected a fucking reality star president. Where else can we go from here? Sorry. Yeah, Josh, there you go. Draft pick these nuts. There it is. Thank you. Good way to end that segment because, God, what a mess. What a messy story. Jesus Christ. That's the sports stuff. Yeah, I can't end on that, though. That's weird. That's too weird to end the show like that. So I'll let you know I'm watching stuff and playing some games. I've been playing Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. I want to correct myself. Last week, I believe I called it a Castlevania 3 ripoff. I would like to change that to say a Castlevania 3 tribute, because that makes it sound nicer. And this game is very fun and very difficult. So if you can get the thing, I encourage you to do it. All right, there you go. Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. Do the thing. Also playing Super Mario 64, realizing I'm not good at this game. So yeah, there's that. I don't know. Also, I'm watching on the old TV. I am actually going to, as soon as I'm done here, I'm going to get some pot roast from the fridge and watch the last episode of Splitting Up Together. I've enjoyed the show, so I'm going to finish that up. I got some comedy specials I'm going to watch. I added like 8 things to the Queen Scroll on my Netflix list, so I'm going to get through some of those. And I am rolling through Last Man Standing. I realized I never finished the last season, and I got to be caught up by the time season 7 comes back in the fall. So that's what's up, man. Whoa, man. That's what's on my screens and stuff. Yeah. Awesome. Let me know what you're watching, all the stuff. I'm everywhere at the Melting Pat. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and .com. You can also leave me a voicemail. Send a text to 209-867-7638. Yeah, we're doing the stuff now, man. I got nothing else to talk about. Plus, I'm hungry. So there you go. So do all the stuff over there. I think I still have some free Pokemon to give away. So let me know. Got to catch them all. Say that in one of the things, and we'll do the stuff. All right? All right. Awesome. There are some new episodes from the network this week. DC Primetime, What Lurks Behind Podcast Zero, Panels the Pixels. I think there were a couple of 2 Fat Dudes episodes that came out this week, and a brand new podcast on the network, We Have to Go Back, where they revisit Lost. Ben and I didn't write down that. Kristen, that sounds right. That's probably wrong. Sorry, I suck at writing things down. But it is a Lost podcast, and the first episode is available now. nextlevelradioonline.com, facebook.com/nextlevelradioonline, on Twitter and Instagram at NXT Level Radio. And there you go. Subscribe to all those shows and more on iTunes or Google Play or the thing and the stuff, so you never miss an episode. You can also rate us and review us. And if you review my show, I will read it. God damn it. It'll be disgusting, but I will do it. All right? All right. I am done. I'm going to end the show now. I'm not going to record another thing after this. I don't want to. So, my friends, live or zombie-like, thank you so much for listening. Enjoy whatever you're doing. All right? Whatever you have going on, just have fun. Don't be an asshole. Right? Right. Awesome. Congratulations if you graduated. If you didn't, better luck next year. I don't know. That's it, man. Thanks, pals. Up top for everybody. I just really, did not wake the dog. That works out really well. Here's G Love and Special Sauce with cold beverage for the podcast, folks. Obviously. Yeah, we can't do that on YouTube, man. Philadelphonic.com for more on them. They're on tour. He's on tour. Everybody's having fun. All right? Including me. I always have fun. You know that. All right, this has been an 8-Boiler production. So until next time, my friends, have fun. Be safe. Thank a veteran. And of course, don't do anything I wouldn't do. Again, G-Love and Special Sauce, cold beverage, taking us home, as they always do now. So there it is. You've been inside the Melting Pat on Next Level Radio. Go crap open a cold one. See ya.